Hey everyone, it's Desiree and I am here with Spellbinders, and we are going to kick off our Spellbinders week with the card kit of the month for September called Together is the Best. And as always, we're going to start out with the reveal of the contents of what will come in your kit, or if you're still on the fence on getting the kit. So as always, you get your card of inspiration, and it also lists the contents of what you should be receiving in there. Your cardstock is a light blue, orange, a gray, a black, an ivory, a light cream, dark blue, gold mirror, and a pink. You get your 10 card bases and envelopes. These are standard A2 size, which means that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And depending upon the card, if you make a portrait, they're side folding, and if you make a landscape, they are top folding. A spool of double-sided tape and also a square of double-sided foam squares. You get a 6x6 paper pad as I page through this. Now remember, this is a paper pad. This is not a cardstock pad. This pad is perfect for layering and collaging, which is what I always get inspired by through this kit, is to layer up the products, have fun with it, and I still have tons left over. There was a previous video that I did in June where at the end I showed you my process on how I create these 10 cards from this one kit. So of course now I'm going to fight with the pad because it doesn't want to shut. That's okay. You get some chipboard pieces that have great dimension, some wonderful puffy stickers with sentiments in great colors, beautiful gold sentiments along with some embellishments that are puffy. These great chipboard frames in all kinds of, I love the color palette of this kit. The soft rose, the periwinkle, the sage green, absolutely love it. And for those of you that have seen these before by me, I love the die cut pack. Just to collage all of these items and to create just some beautiful, beautiful note cards. And they range. As always, you get your stamp set. So here are some very cute images with some great sentiments. And then your die. Your die set will create a telephone that you can put a message inside. But again, this kit inspires me to collage. And that is 9 out of 10 what I focus on for this video. Let's get started with our cards. Now again, it's the same process. I collage. But what I want to show you here are the cards that you can create just using the contents of the kit. If I'm pulling in an ink, I'm pulling in a black ink so that I can stamp my sentiment and my images and then using my color medium. All right? Because that is not, of course, included in the kit. But they give you the double-sided tape. Now, I use the double-sided tape for my panels when I'm layering. All right. When I get into the collaging of the smaller pieces, I will pull in my liquid adhesive because that's just easier. And plus it is a huge habit for me to do. All right. So even with that, I mean, I could use double-sided tape, but technically you can use all of this and you only have to pull in maybe a pair of scissors and your own type of adhesive. And don't forget your imagination because that is the best tool that we have next to our hands. Right? Right. So you can see just simple collaging through, and no, I do not believe you will see any vintage photo in this. Just say. So building up those layers. Again, collaging is wonderful. This kit makes it easy. Because remember, and I know for those of you that have said it before, I know I sound like a broken record, but maybe there's somebody new that hasn't seen these before. So here we go. Kits are great, especially if you're starting out in the paper crafting. Maybe you're that individual that's like, you know what? I see all these videos and I am really enjoying this. But you also see that it is an investment. It is an investment because there's always new gadgets. There's new products that come out. And by all means, that's going to happen, and it's not going to stop. This craft is going to evolve. I think that's cool because new things are always coming out. And that's something that I talk about when it comes to the Card Makers Academy that I'm putting through. You know, we just had regular cardstock, just plain Jane cardstock. Now we have glitter, we have mirror, we have iridescent, we have cutout cardstocks, we have, it just evolves. Our stamps started out with block, red rubber block stamps. We now have clear stamps. We have different clear stamps. We have layering stamps. We have solid stamps. We have cling stamps. It's amazing how the industry has grown and how it evolves. Same thing with our dies. Now that one I'm not going to give away because that's my next video. You all will have to watch that if you want to hear what I say and how they evolve with our dies. But we do. A kit is a good way to get a taste if you're going to like the craft or not. It comes with everything. It comes with items that you need for the most part, especially the Spellbinders. And some people could be sitting there saying, oh, well, she's just saying that. You know what? No. Look at what this kit can produce. It gets you started. You have more products left over so that all you would need to get is more cardstock for your bases, so that you can create cards. There's going to be a time, I don't know when, but I want you to be on the lookout. There is going to be a video that I'm going to make using every single piece of this kit. And I want to see how many cards we can create. Yep. We're going to do it. Maybe somebody else will do it too. I'm just curious because I believe we would be amazed at how many cards we could make. But this is a good taste of it. It gives you paper. It gives you the idea that you can cut this down and so forth and build it. Everything matches in the kit, from the paper to the embellishments to the stamps to the die in this case. But everything coordinates. There are no two papers that will not look right together. And if they don't look right to your eye, then you put a mat in between. Now the papers will match. That is how a kit is designed. Everything works together, from the paper to that embellishment. It kind of helps with the thought process. It can remove that stress. Again, a lot of the questions, the main question that I get is, how do you know what goes with what? You make collaging look so easy. A kit makes it even easier for you because there's not one thing that you're going to grab that's not going to match. Yes, it might be a darker shade. It doesn't matter. The color palette is going to match. That's something that's looked at from color palettes. So when it comes to that idea, it's something to think about. But kits are a great way to get started and to build up that stash. Maybe you only make 5 cards or 10 or 3 cards. You still have these extra pieces that you can just stash away and use for other cards. The other question I get a lot is, how do I store my kits? When it comes to kits, I can't keep them in the box or the packaging. I mean, it would just take up room. I'm already busting out. Again, I say that because I do have that business. So I've got all of these items in here. So keeping the boxes would be difficult for me. So I am awesome there. I totally forgot to hit record on that card. Yes, I am so sorry. I do it again in here. So I really do apologize for that. I'm sure somebody will holler at me because I forgot to hit record to show the process. I apologize tremendously. But I break them down. So all of my embellishments go together. All my chipboard pieces go together. All of my puffy stickers go together. If it's just sentiments, they're in a separate box. And again, I just have these little boxes or sheet protectors that I put them in, and then I stack them up and just layer them. And then I'll put a sticker on those as well if I have a lot of it and if I do group it together. So that's how usually I store those things. And a lot of times these pieces I put into my journals. Again, use up everything, and that's what a journal's for. So that's where I put all of this stuff. A lot of times, especially the papers, I'll tear them down when I create my master boards for backgrounds. Not scanned. I do not scan them because, again, you don't violate copyright here. And that is not a discussion that we will have. So please, nobody make a comment. Okay, so you can see that we're continuing. Again, we're just layering, same motions, same things that I do. Again, but there's different ways that you collage. You know, what goes up, propped up on double-sided foam squares? What stays flat onto the card? When do I mat? Again, usually in that case, I used a black mat. I really wanted that center to come out, and these pieces looked like they were coming up off of it using the double-sided foam squares. If I wanted a subtle background, if I didn't want that piece to absolutely come off, I would have used a softer tone, like an ivory. Black, gray, dark blue, maroon, your very dark, regal colors. Yes, that term comes from Stampin' Up. They say regal colors. Those are the ones that will make it look like it's coming out at you. They will help those colors be intensified and come out towards you. Keeping something soft like I am here is that background pattern paper that I'm using has a gray tone to it, so it's soft. But I don't want to lose those images back there. So using that soft periwinkle, I call it periwinkle, that soft blue doily in the background keeps it still visible. It doesn't take away. Your eye is able to move. There's my sentiment, and then it automatically shifts over into the pattern paper. So keeping things very soft is really what you're looking for. Now right there, I put in that black heart. Okay, that's a bold and that's a dark color. But what that's doing is, once your eye is drawn into the sentiment, your eyes automatically... Here's the other one that I forgot to hit the record button. Yeah, I am awesome. I am so sorry. And if only if you could hear what I'm saying when I realized that. It's not pretty. Not made for children. Yes, very upsetting for me. But I can't redo the card. So, again, I apologize. But anyway, I put that black heart there because your eye's automatically drawn to the sentiment, but then your eye goes towards that heart, and you're able to see that print on the pattern paper. So again, these are my thoughts and processes on how, after I've done the first process of literally throwing pieces down and matching up pattern papers, this is what I'm thinking as I'm putting it together. I have the concept in my head, but there are changes that are happening as I'm putting through. And here's where in this case, I lay the pieces out. So the sentiment is, home is, okay, I can't see it here. Home is wherever you are. There we go. My hands were in the way. So I saw those home die cuts. I saw the couch. The couch was the first thing I thought of. Thought of that hanging on a wall. So making this look like a scene on the floor inside of a house. Now, the one thing that was really sticking out for me was the chair with the white border. So fussy cut it. I fussy cut around that image to remove that white border. No, I did not choose to come in with the vintage photo to cover up that white border. But by all means, you could. I mean, you certainly could. But looking at the placement of the items as well, again, pushing something higher up makes it look like it's towards the back. It'll give you that perspective. Not a perfect perspective, but it will give you some perspective. Courtney, if you all don't know her, Courtney Krieber talks about that, especially when she did one of her videos recently with the ice cream. You know, she talks about perspective to make it goes back to a point. And that's what you kind of want to do. So everything's kind of going back just a little bit to that frame. Not perfectly, again, because these die cuts are the size that they are. But you can create that illusion very easily. So these are up off the side where the couch is that focal point, because we prop that up onto foam squares as well. Again, all of these card panels are going onto the standard A2 size card bases. I loved these frames. I thought they were so cute. I took a piece of pattern paper, cut it just a little bit bigger than the opening, added some glue around the outside of it, and now we're going to have that frame up onto that pattern paper. So again, making it look like it's hanging there, but we're going to have pieces coming out of that frame as well. So setting down, this pattern paper piece is cut to 4 by 5 1/4, so that I will automatically have a white border from the card base. Setting down that panel there, I grabbed some of the gold puffy hearts because they are great for embellishments as well. I'm just going to make that flat so that it looks like it's coming out of the frame. And we're going to use the liquid adhesive because we're just got to push that down. We are going to play with these florals here. I want them to be on a diagonal, one at the top and one on the bottom right-hand corner. And we're going to use both the foam squares and probably some glue because it's going to come off of that frame. So I just want to make sure that they will stay level. Remember, when we add dimension to our cards, and everybody knows I add a lot, you know, that's something to take into consideration when it comes to an envelope, because sometimes the standard A2 size envelope is not big enough. I always add dimension to my cards, whether it's 1 layer, 2 layer, 3s. I've gone up to 5 layers of dimension. So I always buy the next size up. I think it's an A6 size. If I remember, I'll try to put that down in the video description. So I always go up 1 because then it can bulge out. It'll fit my card. But again, it does add postage too. So here's a recap of the cards that we made. Again, I do apologize, cannot apologize enough for the 2 cards that I totally forgot to hit record. You know, you get in that zone and you just keep going, and that's what the situation was. Again, I apologize. Okay, as always, the link to Spellbinders, to their kits, to their shop, to their gallery, by all means, get all the inspiration you can for this kit. There are so many interpretations, and that's the beauty of the art that we create. Will be linked down below. Some are affiliate links, some are not. And again, to be transparent, small commission to me, no extra cost to you. Any questions you have, make sure you leave those down below as well, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for taking this time to stop by and watch my video. And again, I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe, be part of the group so that you can see anything with paper going on this channel. It's just not cards. We can do a lot with paper. Continue to stay safe, continue to laugh, continue to enjoy. But remember what's most important for me. Always be creative each and every day. And until next time, guys. See you in the next video. Take care.